Greetings. I have decided that I'm going to do a video a day for 30 days in January. I'm not going to do the 31st, but I am going to do January 1st through 30th. Now, when you do something like that, you have to make a decision. What are you going to talk about? I like to talk about pretty much anything, but there are areas that I concentrate on. I like to concentrate on blogging and writing and social media. And let's just face it, if I talk about that for 30 days, we're going nowhere. Matter of fact, earlier this year, or actually, since this is now 2020, earlier in 2019, I did like 5 days in a row talking about blogging. And the first one got a lot of attention, and the rest of them didn't. Now, I know that the YouTube professionals, they all say that you should stick to one topic. And in a way, I think that's probably true. But I've also noticed that a lot of those people are doing more personal things. They're doing vlogging, or they're talking about things that have happened in their lives that got them somewhere to a place where they feel a little bit more comfortable. And it's not always about their business. Sometimes it's about motivation. So I decided that's how I'm going to start 2020. I hope you're enjoying the new year. Hope you had a safe New Year's Eve. But here's what I want to do. If you saw the thumbnail, you saw where it said my 10 affirmations. This is actually something that I did back in 2011. So this is 8 years old. And I wrote down 10 affirmations. I'm always writing down certain types of things like this, like goals and whatever. In last year's Passion Planner, for instance, I had 5 things that I wanted to reach. And suffice it to say, I reached one of them. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to share these 10 affirmations that I did back 8 years ago. And let's see how I did on these things. These were goals and things that I really wanted to have. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I tend to believe that just because you write down a bunch of affirmations does not mean you're going to accomplish them all. But you might accomplish one or two. And any kind of accomplishments that you have on something like this is a positive thing. That's my thought anyway. So here's the first one. I want to own a 7,500 square foot ranch house along with 5 acres that will allow my house to grow as I see fit. Now, when I wrote that one down, I was thinking that I wanted this sprawling, massive house with all these things in it, and I wanted my office to be like 50 feet by 50 feet, whatever. Well, I live in a ranch right now, and let me tell you something. My ranch is 1880, and it's a big house. And that 7,500, wow. Can you imagine trying to even clean that house or walk through that house? You'd probably have tons of house with nobody in it because, didn't have a lot of kids, had no kids as a matter of fact. So right now it's just my mother and me. That would have been a major waste. So I'm glad I never got the money to even think about buying something like that. That's just crazy. Number 2, I want to write as many books as I can and have each one become a bestseller in its genre. Well, that was a nice thing to think about because I write a bunch. And instead of having a bunch of books, I did finally write a second book on leadership that I called Leadership Is and Isn't Easy. At the time where I wrote this, I had written my first book on leadership, but I wrote that in 2002. And I'd written a book on social media marketing, of all things. So I didn't write a bunch of books. I wrote one, and unfortunately it never made any bestseller lists, but I wrote a book. So that's 3 books. So I'll take what I can get. I'm calling that kind of a positive because even though it wasn't a bestseller, I did write another book. Number 3, I want to get down to my prime weight, the healthy way, and want to view working out as something I enjoy along with being healthy. I actually hit my weight goal, which is really strange. It took me 7 years to hit it. So there you go. I did it the healthy way. I lost 63 pounds. Thank you. And I'm thinking about trying to lose 10 more just to see if I can do it. Hasn't worked yet. I think once I hit the goal number, I've gone into maintenance mode just to stay there. And at the time when I did this, I had joined the gym and I was going to the gym daily. And you know what? I hated going to the gym. But I was going and I was doing the weights and I was doing the crunches and doing everything. And I hated every minute I was there, except for the times I was walking the track. And you know what? it was better for me to go to the lake and walk than to be walking the track. And later on, it was better for me to walk the house because now I'm just walking. So I walk the house, especially in winter. I live in Syracuse, New York area. We're not going anywhere. And when the weather is warmer, I'll either go to the lake or I'll walk the neighborhood. Every once in a while, I take a walk up to the grocery store and work the parking lots. So I actually think that that was a win because I did lose the 63 pounds, which was my goal. And I still walk anywhere from 6 to 10 miles every single day. That's a win. So maybe I'll give myself a half a point for the book. So let's just say that right now I'm 50-50. Number 4, I want to be able to travel more for enjoyment rather than work whenever I want to, wherever I want to go. I'm going to tell you this is a win, but it's an odd win. Truth of the matter is, I've never really wanted to travel. It's just never really been a thing of mine. But my thought was if I had a lot of money, I might just hop in a car and just drive somewhere or hop on a plane and go somewhere. But truth be told, I never really wanted to travel, but I've traveled a lot because of work and because of conferences. So I've been to Vegas a couple of times. I've been to Reno. I went to New Orleans, San Diego, Orlando. I've been all over the country, St. Louis. I have been everywhere that I wanted to go, and I've been in some places I didn't want to go. I went to Memphis. I was in Memphis working for 18 months. Never thought I was ever going to go to Memphis. Ended up in Mississippi a few times because that's where the casino was. I've traveled. I've been everywhere. I can't say the Grand Canyon, but I actually was at the Grand Canyon back in the 80s, so I didn't need to go there again. I've been to Washington, D.C. for a bunch of meetings. I went there for a conference for blogging, of all things, back in 2016. I've been everywhere I want to go. And I was a military kid, so I already lived in Tokyo, Japan at one point. So I'm counting that as a win, even though I can't necessarily say for total enjoyment, but I did go a couple places for enjoyment. So you know what? That's a win. So I had number 5, which was kind of like that, where it says, I want to travel around the world giving seminars. Well, I already mentioned I decided I didn't want to do that. Now, I have spoken in 9 states, but truth be told, since 2009, I have not spoken outside of New York State. So I had that as a goal. I still like to say when I grow up, I'd love to be a professional speaker and travel around the country doing things like that. But it's not going to happen anytime soon. I'm a full-time caregiver, and I would have to get paid a bunch to go somewhere to talk. It could happen, but I can't see it happening a lot. So that one's not going to happen. Number 6 is kind of related to the others, so I'm not going to fail this one already. I want to see in person all of the wonders that fascinate me in calendars. No, I don't. You know what? I love looking at nature shots. I subscribe to the U.S. Interior Office's webpage or Instagram page, and I love the pictures that they show. And truthfully, I don't want to go to almost any of those places. I don't want to go up any mountains. I don't want to go in any forests. I certainly ain't doing any water because I can't swim. I don't want to be on any beaches. I've been on one beach in my life and I didn't like it. I love Central New York. I have everything I want right here. And if I drive 30 minutes north, I got Lake Ontario. I'm a happy guy. So that one I failed, but I don't care. Number 7, I want abundance to fill my life so that I can share it with my friends and with charities. And I want to do that without feeling that it's going to hurt me financially. That one, I can't say that I've gotten there. I'm not going to lie. I have not had a financially abundant life in the last 7 or 8 years. I've made some money, but I haven't made tons of money. I've been lucky that I've made enough so that I could pay bills. Right now, I'm not traveling anymore for work, so it's really hard. But I have given some money to charity. Not a bunch, not like what I was hoping for, but I give some. However, I will admit that I'm a little shaky on giving because I recognize that if you give something once by check or whatever, then they're sending you something all the time. In December, I think I got something like 20 to 25 different requests for donations to different charities. Oh my God, that's just overwhelming. There's no way that I'd have enough money to give to 25 charities. And a few of them I'd never heard of. So, you know, that's risky. But it would be nice to be able to do that. It'd be nice to go somewhere and like drop some money in a bucket so that they don't have to track you. They can't track you or anything. I still do give some money, though. I gave some to the Alzheimer's Association. I gave some to an organization called Arise, which works with disabled people. So I did give some. And I give to the food bank locally so that they can feed people who don't have enough money to eat. So I have done my part, but nothing like this. Number 8, I want to hire a housekeeper to help keep my house clean, a personal trainer to keep my body fit, a masseuse to keep my body feeling good, and a cook to keep me eating healthy. Well, I don't want a personal trainer anymore because after the gym, I decided I don't want that kind of thing. I'd love to have a masseuse. I'm not going to lie, but that didn't happen. I'm not sure if I want to cook. If I had a cook, I'd want a cook who was born in the South, who knew how to cook those kinds of things. But a lot of that food isn't really healthy. So I really want someone, truthfully, who would come in and clean everything so that I could cook anything I wanted to. I'm not going to lie. That's what I would want. However, I kind of have a housekeeper. Not anyone who cleans the entire house because I don't need that. But I have someone who comes in once a month and fully cleans the kitchen and the bathrooms. Those are the two areas that I really wanted someone to scour and just do everything with those areas. Because I have rugs everywhere. I got a vacuum cleaner. I can handle that. I don't worry about the windows because I don't look out the windows all that often. But I do have someone. So I'm counting that as a partial win because that one I still wanted. Number 9, I want to be able to offer positive influence in people's lives and be remembered for any goodness I might be able to impress upon others. Now that one, that's tough because if you say you've hit that, then you sound egotistical and like you're bragging. But I like to think that in general, I have been a positive influence on a lot of people. That's always been my goal. As a matter of fact, back in the 70s, that was my goal. When I had groups of, friends when I was a lot younger, I wanted to be the good kid. I've never cussed in my life. When I used to have fights, which was back in the 70s, I never hit anybody first. And I never hit anyone in the face. Never did it. Never beat anybody up. Never lost a fight, but I never beat anybody up. I did hit one kid across the back with a board. But I thought that was better than anything else I could have done to him. But overall, that's always kind of been my goal. That's why I got into leadership on one of my businesses that I do. And I've done, presentations on leadership and diversity and motivation because I like to think that those are types of things that you can do to help bring a positive influence. I've spoken to kids. And I've spoken to young kids, and I've spoken to kids in college. So I'm trying. I'm still trying. And I've had some people here and there who have commented on some of my blogs and said that I've, been a positive influence on them. So I thank you guys for that. And sometimes on my blog, someone will comment and say something like that. I really appreciate that. That's always been my goal. I don't want to make anyone feel bad. If I was a millionaire, I would still want to do something like that with other people. And the last one, I want prosperity and wealth to never stop coming into my life so I don't feel guilty when I step back, take a big breath, and say thank you to whomever might be listening. You know what? That one's been on my affirmations list forever, so that's nothing new. Because who doesn't really want to be rich? I know people who say they want to be comfortable. Well, you can't be comfortable. You know what? I wrote a blog post on that, which I'm probably going to link to here. You cannot say I want to be comfortable because what is comfortable? There's just no such thing. Comfortable basically you might think comfort means I get to stay in the house and I can watch TV and I can go to a restaurant, whatever. But if your car breaks down, you're not living comfortably if you need a couple $1,000s to pay for that. Or if you now have to go into the hospital. You're not living comfortably if you're going to worry about medical bills. Comfortably has to involve wealth. You just have to have it of some kind. so that you can take those kind of hits. Now, I don't have that kind of wealth lying around necessarily, but I have a couple thousand that at any time, if I really, really, really need something, then I've got it and I can take care of myself. And that's beyond everything else because I have money kind of around the house. I roll quarters all the time. I have a jar that I put in change and it tells me how much is in it. And I have another spot where I just put in change. So, yeah, I've built that up. I've got that. If it's a real emergency, I've got that. If I want a pizza and I don't have any cash, I've got cash. I think that that's okay. It's okay to worry about that. It's okay to say that you'd like to be wealthy. A lot of people will say, what was that thing about the want of wealth? I don't know. I can't remember the Bible verse right now. I could find it, but I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, let me know what you think of those affirmations. Let me know if you have some affirmations for yourself. Do you have big goals and things that you'd like to do within the next 3 years or 5 years? I might do a video later on talking about my goals for this year, but I'm not ready for that just yet. Anyway, my name is Mitch Mitchell. This is the first video of 2020. And there you go. I'll talk with y'all later.